This is the first 2 months progress of the project. We started with a pretty basic Unreal Engine template and began working on our first enemy, the Goblin. The first step was setting up the Goblin's locomotion system. We added the basic movement animations and connected everything together so we could test how the character actually feels in-game. The environment is still just a simple test level, since our main focus at this stage is building the core gameplay systems. We also gave the Goblin a dash ability, which will later become part of his combat behavior. And here you can see the dash in action, allowing the Goblin to quickly close the distance to the player. Next, we moved on to the player character. We created our base hero, set up his locomotion system, and got his movement and animations working in-game. Having both the enemy and the player moving properly gave us a good foundation to finally start working on the combat system. The first weapon we added was a greatsword, which is currently the hero's default weapon. We attached it to the character and set up the basic weapon implementation. Then we implemented the greatsword attack and connected the attack animation to the gameplay logic. At this point, the hero finally had his first functional melee attack. Next, we started making the weapon systems more flexible. Instead of hard-coding everything specifically for the greatsword, we moved the weapon configuration into a data table. This gives us a reusable system where different weapons can have their own properties without having to rebuild everything from scratch. We also adjusted the camera angle to get closer to the gameplay perspective we are aiming for. We then expanded the data table with more weapon properties, including attack speed, damage, and attack range. Next came the health and the damage system. Characters could now receive the damage, and we also added health bars to visualize their current health. Finally, we added some hit reaction animation, and that wraps up the first 2 months progress.